What's up, horror fans? Danny
And Charlotte.
and we're here to talk to you tonight about The Conjuring Part 2. We watched this on Netflix the other night. Pete and I did an awesome live review of The Conjuring the other night. We had people coming in and talking to us on the live feed, and it went really well. So I was planning on seeing Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, tonight, but my theater isn't doing a Thursday night screening, which I think is because of HBO Max and their the fact that the movie goes live on HBO Max tomorrow. A Quiet Place 2, Quiet Place 2 doesn't have a direct streaming. It's not on a direct streaming service the way Conjuring 3 is going to be on HBO Max. So that's just my theory. I don't know if that's true or not. But HBO Max has the entire Conjuring universe films. All three Annabelles, Curse of La Llorona, and The Nun. And speaking of The Nun, what do you think of Conjuring 2? Are you going to talk? Or are you just going to make weird...
Just weird noises. Okay, I almost said it.
What?
I don't want to say her name. So The Nun.
The only way to kill her was to say her name. You should say her name.
Oh, Valak.
Valak, yeah.
Valak.
Valak. Sounds like you're in Indiana, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Belloc.
Okay,
Valak.
So Valak, she is way scarier than Annabelle. Can you agree with that?
What? Oh, well, yeah, she's scarier than Annabelle. We're just talking about like the Annabelle doll and the Conjuring movies. What about Valak the Nun compared to Batsheba in the first Conjuring movie?
Batsheba has she has more of a demon vibe. The Nun, Valak, she is just a creepy whatever.
Yeah. I should have led with this, but we're gonna, obviously The Conjuring 2 came out in 2016. This is gonna be spoilers. We're spending the month on the channel getting ready for Conjuring 3, which is coming out tomorrow. Nice. And we're gonna be going through, Pete and I are gonna be going through the rest of the Conjuring universe, the Annabelle films, The Nun, Curse of La Llorona, and then we're gonna do a big ranking video at the end of the month. Yes. Repetitive daughter?
Okay, so we cannot actually talk about the movie? God.
Can you talk about the movie?
Okay. So, there is this family, and no, it is not the other family from The Conjuring 1. This has nothing to do with Conjuring 1.
Well, wait a minute. It's not a direct sequel. No. To The Conjuring. It does, of course, have Ed and Lorraine Warren, played again by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
And the same daughter of Lorraine and Ed Warren.
But yes, it's a totally different family. In fact, they're not even in America this time, right?
They're not even in America. They're in London.
All right.
They're in London. So, let's start off with the main character, Janet. We have a nice girl named Janet, and her older sister, Margaret, and their little two brothers, Johnny and Billy.
She remembers the names much better than anybody else. She knew all the kids' names, all the daughters in the first Conjuring. She knew them all like 30 minutes in.
Wait, I did?
Yeah, you were like, I don't even remember their names. You did.
That's April.
It's very easy for us to remember the name of the lead daughter here, the one who is getting possessed, because her name is Janet, and that's Mom and Grandma's name. So... shout out to my mom. I just want to get it. Conjuring 2, once again, directed by James Wan, written by both Chad and Carrie Hayes, again, with James Wan and with David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, the man of many names. But I also want to shout out the cinematographer here, Don Burgess. This is a guy who got an Oscar nomination for Forrest Gump. And
what's Forrest Gump?
Talk to Mom about it. She loves the movie. It's good. But Don Burgess' cinematography in this movie, the thing that I love the most about Conjuring 2 is the long shots that are done. There's a lot of long takes, unbroken takes, or takes that are made to look unbroken. There's that one scene, you remember, where Janet is found in the chair and then she goes upstairs and then the camera just kind of pans up and she's on the couch watching TV and you were like, oh, it's daytime now? And like the camera just makes you, without moving, without there being an obvious cut, it goes from night to day and there's a time jump. Really cool.
Like, oh, wow, she's going upstairs. Okay, guys, it's the morning, so
Yeah,
hey, what are we going to watch?
And both the first two Conjuring films have such great camera work. And I think that makes the scares so much better when there's jump scares in these films, but then there's scares like in this movie when all the crosses start turning around and then Janet's staring into the corner and then the old man just runs out of the corner. Like, that's all on camera. It's just, there's so much cool stuff like that.
I don't want to look at my cats ever again. I feel like they're going to turn into a crooked man.
Yeah, crooked man.
Stop!
She got, if you couldn't tell, she got legitimately scared by this movie. This girl, 10 and a half years old, she is a horror pro already.
And the only movie I've ever, got really scared of is The Exorcist. And this is pretty much The Exorcist
and Crawl.
remade. We don't need to talk about Crawl. I just weirded out about that.
Yeah.
Shut up.
This is one of the only movies where, I always say this about her. She's not, my sister, your Aunt Emily, she was always the type of person who, she needed a pillow in the middle of the movie.
To cover her eyes. I close my ears.
And she would, start crying in the middle of the movie and make me turn it off. She will watch an entire movie, and then at the end of the movie, the way you know if that movie really scared her is the movie's over now, and then all of a sudden I'm like, so what'd you think, Charlotte? And she's like, exactly. She starts like the slow after movie cry. My wife was not very happy, but I let her.
This might be the new scariest movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know why I took that picture of you sleeping? Because the last thing you said to me was, "I'm never gonna sleep again," and then you slept in the living room with the light on, and you were asleep in like 5 minutes.
Well, that was because.
The family in this movie you discussed. Janet is played by Madison Wolfe, and she's there's 2 daughters and then 2 sons. She's the second oldest daughter. I think she's the second oldest of the 4 kids. And she's the one who is being possessed. And it seems like she's being possessed by this old man who's haunting their house.
No, they're haunting that chair. So throw away that chair and you'll be okay.
Yeah. That's one.
Look, if you just throw away that chair, everything will be okay.
Did you just get possessed by somebody else?
Yeah, I got possessed.
Talk normal.
Okay.
Yeah, the story of this movie, this is just like with the first Conjuring, and I said this to Pete, I never went back and rewatched these movies. So I've seen each...
Sorry, go.
I've watched each of the Conjuring movies twice now. Once in the movie theater and then once on the couch with her. And this movie, the one thing that I didn't notice the first time
What?
that I noticed the second time is this movie is longer than the first one, and it feels longer. 2 hours and 15 minutes is a long time for a haunted house horror movie. And so this movie, you feel the length a little bit. And also, like Charlotte was saying, there's this chair where the old man who lived in the house before them died in. Imagine if you lived in a house, if you moved into a house and they were like, oh yeah, the couch, oh yeah, the previous owners died on that couch. You're not going to be like, oh, okay, well, free couch. You're going to, what are you going to do?
I would take that couch, be like, hey neighbor, can you help me move this couch? And I'm going to go throw it away.
Yeah, we live on the 6th floor. Just right out the window, right into the backyard. Get rid of it. Burn it, chop it up. Yeah. So there's this chair that they leave in the apartment. They leave in the house. But aside from the old man who died in the chair, there's also
Valak.
the crooked man. There's also a nun who's walking around who we find out
The thing is that Valak is only haunting Lorraine and Ed. Like, they're not haunting the family. They're just haunting Lorraine.
Well, no, that's the thing. The demon that is possessing Janet, who won't let the old man's spirit rest, is Valak. Valak is the demon of this movie. It's just that he takes multiple forms, which I will say, and this is another minor critique of this movie, is that I do feel that gets a little confusing, where it's like, for the first 2/3 of the movie, you're led to believe that the demon here is this old man in the house, haunting the house, and that Valak the nun is just this kind of side character. But, and then there's the crooked man, who looks amazing, by the way, and I gotta shout out...
You know who he looks like? He looks like the guy from, I forgot the name of it. It's a book I read in ELA class.
Oh. Well, I want to shout out the actor, Javier Botet. He's like, along with Doug Jones, he's one of like the top special effects, makeup horror actors. He doesn't get a lot of speaking roles, but he does play a lot of tall, lanky, monstrous figures. And I don't understand why we have gotten 3 Annabelle movies, a La Llorona movie, and a Nun movie.
That's the La Llorona.
But we haven't gotten a Crooked Man movie. Give me a Crooked Man movie, Ed and Lorraine Warren. No, because that would be freaking good. Yes, you see, the fact that you're so scared of that idea makes it a good idea. Crooked Man movie. Let's go. I also want to shout out Bonnie Aarons, who is the woman in the makeup for the Nun. She is great.
I saw the actor for the Nun.
I know. She
looks like the Nun.
They do a great job with the makeup. But she's fantastic. And also, I think it's hilarious that the mom in this movie is played by the actress Frances O'Connor, who looks exactly like a younger version of Barbara Hershey.
Who's Barbara Hershey?
Good question. Barbara Hershey is a character in another James Wan movie series, Insidious.
And
Insidious. They're on Netflix. We'll watch them. They're really good. So Frances O'Connor. So the whole movie, I'm looking at her and I'm going, is that Barbara Hershey? No, it can't be. Barbara Hershey's a little bit older. They look very similar, and it's just kind of weird that James Wan has both of these actresses in his 2 horror franchises. Maybe, and I'll yell this out to Pete across the interwebs. Maybe since we already did the Saw franchise, which James Wan started,
I love it.
And now we're doing the Conjuring universe, which James Wan, of course, started. James Wan directed the first Saw movie. And he directs Conjuring and Conjuring 2. Maybe after that we can get into the Insidious movies. There's only 4 of them, and they're all pretty good. Pretty good to great, actually. So maybe that's just an idea.
Movies like Halloween, that goes from like great, good.
Yeah, exactly. That's Halloween Resurrection. Don't worry about it.
And Jaws too.
Yeah, Jaws the Revenge. But anyway, do you have any last thoughts on Conjuring 2?
It's the scariest movie I've ever seen. Sorry, Exorcist.
Wow, that is high praise. We didn't mention Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're called in, of course. Lorraine has a premonition that Ed is going to die, and that adds some extra tension to this movie. And Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, they're the glue of these films. I can't wait until tomorrow to see part 3. I've heard excellent things about them in the film. I've heard mixed reviews so far. Some very good, some not so great. But I've heard nothing but praise for Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. So I'm all good with that. What did you think? Better? Which do you like better, the first or part 2?
Part 2, because I like getting scared.
Okay. So, having just... when Pete and I filmed our live Conjuring review, I said The Conjuring 2 was my favorite of the series. Now, I think after rewatching them just like a day or so apart, they've leveled with each other. They're like dead on, and I'm going to have to think very seriously when we get to our ranking video where I put each one of these.
Yes.
They're both excellent horror films.
Excellent horror.
I mean, James Wan as a horror director, he's up there with Mike Flanagan. I'm going to stop this video soon so I can do some off-camera child abuse. Stop it.
I'll do mad abuse.
That's okay. James Wan, I gotta give him credit that I didn't fully give him in the past. If you go back to the last 10 to 15 years and you go to Saw, Dead Silence, the Insidious films, the Conjuring films, you know, this is a guy who has made not only some of the most lucrative horror films and started some of the most lucrative horror franchises, but he's made some genuinely great horror. And I don't think I ever really appreciated that until I've spent this last month and a half revisiting the Saw movies and now watching Conjuring 2 again.
By the way, it's June. What type of, category is June?
Well, what do you mean? Oh, for the channel? Mm-hmm. Well, we're doing the Conjuring universe this month.
Demons?
No. We're focusing specifically on the Conjuring films. I guess I talk with my hands a lot.
You do. I'm out.
So yeah, Conjuring, our review is up on the channel. Check that video out. Conjuring 2 up on the channel right now. You can watch our video. And stay tuned. Tomorrow I will have a quick, spoiler-free review of The Devil Made Me Do It, The Conjuring Part 3. Pete and I are going to do another live video on Sunday where we go in-depth, full of spoilers, talking about Conjuring 3.
It's too late to say there's spoilers in this.
Oh, no. There are spoilers in this video. We're talking about a 5-year-old movie. I'm talking about the new one that's coming out tomorrow. And then we're going to do reviews of the other movies. We're going to do short reviews of the Annabelle franchise, The Nun, La Llorona, and then we're going to do a big Conjuring Universe franchise ranking at the end of the month. So before I go, I just want to shout out a couple of things. I just got this freaking amazing this massive package of Lake Mungo from Second Sight Films that I was inspired to get. This is one of the most universally praised horror films of the last several years. It comes with a new Blu-ray full of special features, which you can check right there. And it has this unfreaking believable 70-page book that details the production, the behind-the-scenes, interviews with the filmmakers and everybody. Absolutely fantastic from Second Sight Films. I absolutely recommend this. Go and pick this up. And the other thing that Charlotte and I want to say is we want to say a sad goodbye to the Stardust app. Chris D'Onofrio, who you guys know if you follow the Last Cast channel, he was one of our... It was him, Pete, and myself started this channel. Chris got me started on the Stardust app probably 4 or 5 years ago. It was a great app for making 30-second live reactions to movies and TV episodes. That's where Charlotte got her start making videos and doing any form of social media. There was no trolling. There was next to no negativity. It was one of the great social media apps, and unfortunately, it is closing down today. Stardust app, we loved you. If you follow us from the Stardust app, like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because this is where we're going to pretty much be exclusively. I do a little bit for geeksofdoom.com and their YouTube channel.
Go check out my channel.
But Lassercast is where it's at. And yeah, Charlotte has her own YouTube channel.
It's bad.
All she does is make TikTok videos, and it's all because of the Stardust app. So thank you, Stardust app. We love you. Made some really great friends
Especially
and
me.
connections there. So, Danny,
Charlotte.
Conjuring 2 is on Netflix. Check it out, and we'll
Check
see
it
you
out.
very soon.
See you very soon.